All right, hey guys, today on the segment of Getting to Know a Realtor, we have James Oronoz today with Reliance Real Estate Services. How you doing, James?
Doing well. It's good to see you, Brian.
Likewise. Yeah, just a little background. James and I kind of in a sense, kind of grew up together or in similar kind of circles.
Yes.
Life.
Yes.
So it's good to have you.
Thank you.
What are you drinking today?
I'm actually drinking good old-fashioned pure water. Yeah. Yes. Filtered, by the way, filtered water, and it's very refreshing.
Water for champions.
Yeah.
You said you just got off the phone with another buyer?
Yeah. Just before I popped on here, I had a buyer maybe like 20 minutes ago, and it's a conversation I've been having with him for maybe the last 6 months, and he just said, "Yeah, I'm ready to start looking." I said, "Great, during the holiday season. That's going to be awesome." And he said, "Okay, here's some homes I want you to check out. When can you start?" I said, "Well, what's convenient for you?" And he said, "How about right now?" And I said, "Okay." So yeah, I'll be showing them a couple of homes later on this afternoon after my previous meeting. I'm going to be showing some other homes out in Corona to another client. So yeah, busy afternoon, but I'm thankful, man. I'm grateful for the work.
That's awesome. How is that showing houses during like this time of the year?
Well, during this time of the year, it typically slows down.
Right.
But what we're seeing is due to the worldwide pandemic that we're all experiencing, that the market has sort of kicked the can. So in the beginning of the year, January, February, March, starts to heat up, and then March, April, May, June is when it's really hot. So the trends that we've been seeing is everything has been kind of shifting down towards the year. So I don't see it slowing down. Right now I'm working with 5 really active buyers. They're ready to look, and we've been looking. So I don't really see it slowing down. I think the issues that we have right now is that there's low inventory on the market, especially in Southern California here. Right. Calling it a housing crisis. So that's what we're encountering right now.
Oh, right. Yeah. And so in the areas that you service, what are the areas that you service?
Yeah. So Orange County, LA County, San Bernardino County, Riverside County. I've done business and will continue to do business in those 4 counties primarily. Mm-hmm. I do have a client right now who's wanting me to help them in San Diego. I'm more than happy to do that as well. Plus, I love San Diego, so I don't mind the drive so much.
San Diego's cool. Yeah, I love San Diego. Excellent. Yeah. Awesome. So if anyone from San Diego is watching this,
yeah, I'll go down, man. Let's do this.
That's awesome. We're going to throw your information up also. Totally forgot to say that in the beginning. But yeah, you guys can contact James. Phone number, website, Instagram, Facebook, email we'll also throw up there as well.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay, so just kind of like some more silly questions. I was wondering, what do you think? Okay, so if you could be a turtle or a giraffe, which one would you be?
I'm gonna go with giraffe. I think that's like right away. You have a nicer, higher point of view of things, taller than everyone else, and food is just for you at that level, right? I mean, they're essentially eating leaves, so I'll have all the food I want and a good bird's eye or giraffe's eye perspective from my point of view.
You ever see giraffes like fight or play together with their heads? Like,
yeah, it's awkward. I've seen it at like the San Diego Wild Animal Park, and it's super awkward, but I mean, they go for it. I mean, they're handling business for sure. Right.
Yeah. It's interesting. I don't know the reason why, or that's just how they do things. Yeah. Do you have any favorite fast food restaurants?
Yeah, I got 2 of them. There's one here in Brea. It's called Baja Fish. They also have one in Santa Ana and also in Costa Mesa. And the only reason I plug them, what?
Oh, I'm gonna throw every time you say something, we'll throw it up there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna plug it because I never want them to go out of business. Their beans and rice are awesome. I've actually tried to convince my wife and daughter if they would get a job there just to figure out how to make that rice. Maybe there's some secret. But it's so good. They have really good food there. And the second one is Jimmy John's. I mean, and I know it's a chain restaurant, but I love their
sandwich place.
Jimmy John's.
Is it a sandwich or is it hot dogs?
Yeah, sandwich.
Sandwiches. Got it.
Yeah. So you've never been?
No, I've never been.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't. It's not for everyone, but I love them. So good.
I hear it's really good. People, they always say good things.
Yeah. You should. I think one of their taglines is you can come in for free smells or something like that. And I mean, it really smells awesome in there. And then you just get sucked in, and then you want to eat it. So, yeah. Cool. Jimmy John's, good sandwich joint.
Got it. So better than Subway.
Well, no. I mean, if people love Subway, I mean that's just my preference. Yeah, I take Jimmy John's, and I would take Jimmy John's over Jersey Mike's too. I think Jersey Mike's is really good, but I'd take Jimmy John's over Jersey Mike's.
Cool. So do you like sandwiches?
I love sandwiches.
Cool.
Yeah. There's another spot here close by, Fat Freddy's here in Fullerton. Their sandwiches are pretty bomb too. They're pretty good.
So what do you think? Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Does pineapple belong on pizza? I would go out and say that anything belongs on pizza. I didn't grow up thinking that, but does pineapple belong on pizza? I would say yes, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I get it, so sure. Nice.
Cool. I like that thought of like anything belongs on pizza. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, what's the craziest thing that you've had on pizza, or like unorthodox?
I would say I've like baked a pizza and put kale on it, and then it kind of disintegrates, and it's different. It's cool.
Is it crunchy?
Yeah, it's a little crunchy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
With the kale. Okay. Yeah. Not a lot of restaurants, they don't really have kale on hand though that make pizza.
You know, kale used to be like a garnish in Denny's back when I was a kid, and we never ate that stuff. And all of a sudden, you can eat it,
everywhere.
And it's the greatest thing for you.
Super good for you. Who would have thought?
Yeah. No, nobody. Not back then. We didn't think that. No.
Awesome. Cool. So, tell me more about like your background, like where you're from, where you grew up, and stuff.
Well, I grew up in Hacienda Heights, just over the hill. Currently, I live in Fullerton with my wife and 3 kids. We've been married for almost 25 years. In March, we'll be 25. So looking forward to celebrating that. We have 3 daughters, 22, 19, and 16. All great. They all get along great. They're just wonderful individuals. But growing up, I can remember all the way back till I was 5. My dad grew up when I was growing up, he was a real estate agent as well. And then he started buying investment properties. And then those investment properties just took way too much of his time. And so he dedicated all his time to his investment properties. And when I was 5, I would go with him on Saturdays and get him tools or whatever he needed. And he had his own crew too that made repairs on the properties. And at the end of the day, it was like the end of the week, right, for the workers. But for me, it was the end of the day because I only worked on Saturdays. I remember he paid all his workers cash, and then he paid me $1 in cash, and I thought it was like the best thing ever. So I worked for $1 a day back for when I was 5 years old, all the way probably until I was 18. And then my dad got really sick, asked me to quit school and my job. I was working at Ralph's in La Habra before it was a Costco. And so I did that and started working for him full time. Got married when I was 22. And then I've been on my own. I have my own investment properties since 2007, and became a real estate agent a few years ago. And love it, man. It's been great. It's certainly been a lot better than I expected, and hopefully that continues. I know it will. It'll always get better. It's good. Yeah.
So what did you learn from your dad? Like, kind of, since he kind of like trained you in real estate in a sense.
Yeah.
Like what lesson did he teach you?
Well, the first thought that comes to my head is hard work. I mean, he is a hard worker. He's always been not afraid of anything, not afraid of hard work, not afraid of sweating. And so that, I would say, number one, that would be the most valuable thing that I've learned from him. And I hope he watches this, because I don't know if I tell him enough how grateful I am for him. Other things that I've learned is, in regards to deals, being patient through them. He's actually still a real estate agent. He's 75 years old.
Oh, yes,
and
that is awesome.
Yeah, what's so great about even that is when he was, I believe he was 70, he decided to get his real estate license again, studied, took the test, and got his license, and has been a real estate agent for the last 5 years. So again, something like that is he never gives up. He doesn't have excuses. He just goes straight ahead, and the obstacles, he'll figure a way around them, through them, over them, whatever. So that's another thing I've really appreciated about my dad, and will continue to. I want to carry that on, even to my girls. Yeah. And we'll see. But yeah, great guy.
That's great. What do you mean again? Like he got his real estate license again?
So when I was little, he stopped being a real estate agent because he had investment properties.
Okay.
So for maybe about a period of, I don't know, 35 years or so, he wasn't practicing as a real estate agent broker. And then he stopped doing that. And 70 years old, instead of, retiring and taking it easy, he decided to get his real estate license and got it at I believe he was 70 years old, 69 or 70 years old. He got his license and was selling real estate up in Bakersfield. And yeah, it's incredible. I look up to that big time. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. So cool. So where did you go to high school?
Went to Whittier Christian from I think 88 to 91, graduated in 91. And prior to that, went to Brethren Christian in La Mirada and Whittier. And that's it. It was just those two schools for elementary and high school, junior high and high school. And yeah, still have a couple friends from there still. One being my sister, my twin sister.
Oh, no. I didn't know you had a twin sister.
Yeah. She's certainly the better part of the twin pack. But yeah, she's 6 minutes older, and a reminder of that every time. That she always says that she fought her way out, and I'm like, nah, I pushed you out. But yeah, my sister, I went to school there with my cousin Ruben, and a couple other friends that I still keep in contact with today.
When's your birthday, James?
March 21st, spring. Yeah, 1973. So I'll be 48 years old, and I'm looking forward to that.
Excellent.
So good.
That's so cool. Was Whittier Christian, were they still at the same campus, or were they at a different spot back then when you went to school?
For ninth grade, they used to have their own separate campus for the freshmen. And I guess since then, they sold that campus and combined all 9th through 12th right there in La Habra. They're located right off of Beach Boulevard.
Got it.
So, yeah.
Got it. Very cool. So, changing gears a little bit. You were talking about like your father and like kind of how your father has like that drive. So, I was wondering like what drives you, or what like inspires you to kind of keep going?
That's probably changed over the years. What I will say is back in 2007, 8, 9, with the real estate crash, we nearly lost everything, even the home that I'm currently having this interview in. We should have lost it. And, through the grace of God, we did not. Certainly, some trials and tribulations, some rough years, a lot of tears, a lot of anguish, a lot of anxiety, fear, all that, and hopelessness, all of that for sure. Got a great wife, strong wife, Not to say that she's perfect. She certainly cried and had anguish during that time, but she's certainly a rock and prayer warrior. She's great, man. She is probably, her and my girls are the main reason that I get up every day and that pushes me every day. I never want them to experience that ever again, ever. So if I have to take 2, 3, 4 jobs, I'll do it, because I don't want them to have that experience ever again. That was a rough 7 years, and we're out of that. We're on the right side now in regards to the, our home and properties and all that. I mean, they're all material stuff anyway, but certainly they're a blessing to us, and so that's a long answer of saying.
No, that's good. I love that.
My family, my wife and my daughters are what motivates me big time, without a doubt.
That's so cool. That's great. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of agents who are a little older, and even just like generation-wise, people who experience the financial crisis, going through that was rough for a lot of people.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I know I'm not the only one that experienced it. I know plenty of people who did, and but we're on the other side. We're okay.
Yes. Yeah. So, kind of going into more of your personality, we like to ask if you guys know your Myers-Briggs. So it's like that 16 personality test. We're wondering kind of which one are you?
That's a great question. So I didn't know, and I had to ask my middle child, "Hey, what's my Myers-Briggs?" And she said, "It's this." She asked me a couple questions. She said, "You're this." So I guess I'm ESTJ. Do you know what that is?
I don't, but we'll throw it up.
Okay, ESTJ. It's extroverted, sensor, thinker, judger.
Judger. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually
ESTJ.
Which is.
So can I read it to you?
Please.
So extroverted means outgoing. You become energized when you're around people, 110%. Sensor means you take in information through your immediate surroundings, totally. Thinker means you value logic over feelings, yes. And judger means you thrive off of structured plans rather than a more go with the flow approach. So it's funny, man. Even on vacations, I have apps of our schedule for what we're doing for the day and for the duration of vacation. So when we were going over this, I'm like, oh yeah, that's totally me.
That's cool. Where's been a favorite vacation spot?
Well, it depends. If it's a longer vacation, Hawaii has always been our go-to. It's like shorter. We've gone out to Arches. We've gone out to Bryce, Zion, national parks. Sequoia, Yosemite, Grand Canyon. And then if it's like weekend trips, like I mentioned, San Diego. I love San Diego. Go there often with my wife on weekend getaways, or Mammoth during winter. For snowboarding. I snowboard with my middle daughter, or she snowboards with me, one of the two. And, we go out and we have a great time. It's awesome.
How long have you been snowboarding for?
I think I took it up when I was like 30 or 32 or something like that. Yeah, my brothers who were doing it for a while, I have 3 younger brothers. And my brother-in-law, they were doing it, and they invited me one time, and it was a horrible experience, and then 5 were still horrible. But the more you go out there, the easier it gets and the better you get. So I have 1 out of 3 daughters that go with me. So I'm pretty pumped about that. At least 1 is involved, so it's good.
Any close calls, like snowboarding?
Oh yeah. Not even close calls. Like, I full on hit my head and like tumbling down hills and all that. Yeah, it's it's like hitting the edge and all. Yeah, it's horrible, but not lately.
You've gotten better, I'm sure.
Yeah. I can stay on my heels and my toes going down the mountain. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, snowboarding is something else. I've only done it once, and that was enough for me. I believe it went to Big Bear, I think, or What's the other one?
Snow Summit's over there.
Snow Summit.
They got a Mountain High. Those are the local ones.
Arrowhead? Arrowhead? No.
I don't think Arrowhead has any. It's like it would be Big Bear probably.
Probably Big Bear.
Mountain. Yeah, Bear Mountain probably be the most popular. Either that or Snow Valley is another one. Yeah, that was my first time too going to Bear Mountain, and it's too icy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Very cool. So, in terms of, okay, so, beach or mountains then?
Ooh. It's probably mountains. It has, and it's very close. I love the beach, no doubt. It's beautiful, but yeah, mountains is where I feel re-energized for sure. Love it.
Very cool. Do you have any childhood memories of like being in the mountains?
Yeah, Yosemite. We used to go camping all the time every summer. I've 6 brothers and sisters. I'm right in the middle.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's a big one.
Yeah, it's huge. And
do you have a family photo?
No, but I can get you one.
Yeah, we could throw it up.
Yeah, throw it up there.
So cool.
So like almost every summer we either go to Yosemite and Sequoia, or Yosemite and Kings Canyon. And then one time back in 86, we took a month-long trip to Canada, like went all the way up the coast of Canada.
But
and
you drove?
An RV. My dad had an RV, and we did Montana, Idaho, the Dakotas, Nebraska, Colorado, Arizona, Utah. I mean, it was a month long, and we ended up hating each other at the end of the trip. But for 3 weeks, man, it was really fun.
Oh man, yeah. So like 3 weeks is a limit. Like after that, it's like, yeah, that's a long time in one space with a lot of people.
Oh yeah. We had tents whenever we stopped, but there would be times where we like posted up in like a shopping center, and we all somehow there was 9. I think we had 10 people at that time, because I think someone brought a friend. We had 10 people in a RV, right? That's supposed to sleep like 4 or 6 or something like that, but whatever. It was fun, man. We were young. We didn't care. We didn't know any better, and it's great memories.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And you got to do a lot of traveling. Did you drive up to like the British Columbia side of Canada, or Vancouver?
Yeah. So the whole purpose we went up there was for Expo 80. It was the World Expo in 1986. So we went up there to British Columbia, Victoria, Vancouver. Beautiful, from what I can remember. And in fact, that's where me and my wife are going to go. Part of our trip for our 25th is going to be out of Vancouver. So
nice.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's great. You're going to go around or I'm not sure when you get married, or like in the summer?
Yeah, we actually did get married in March. March the 2nd, but it's a cruise that we're going to be taking from there. It's going to be in June. Got it.
Okay. Hopefully cruises are back in service by then.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see. I know, right? Yeah, it's like you never know what could happen anymore.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, but all you can do is like hope and yeah, I know. So how did you get started in real estate? Like, is it just like, was it your dad like kind of like in working with him, and then, or was there something where you kind of, what was like the moment that pushed you over the edge?
Yeah, so my dad had a huge influence. I mean, I've been around it my whole life, ever since I can remember, 4 or 5 years old, and started doing it, managing his properties, and then I got my own properties and was managing those. I manage for other people right now as well, single family homes, apartment buildings, commercial buildings, and so through that I didn't have my real estate license, and so I thought, it would probably be good to have my real estate license in case, if there was an opportunity. I want to be prepared. I want to be ready.
Yeah.
So a few years ago, I saw a guy I went to high school with, and I reached out to him. I think he does his business really well. Very successful realtor. And so I reached out to him. I just said, hey, I really like the way you go about things. Would you mind, just meeting up? And I want to know how to get my real estate license. And he was super gracious. He said, yeah, let's do it. So we met for about an hour. He kind of walked me through the steps. And he then said, hey, let me know when you get it and just kind of keep me in the loop. So I did that. He brought me onto his team over at Reliance, and worked with him for a couple years, and then just recently started working on my own. And it's been good. It's exciting. I love it. I love every part of it. I love showing homes. I love the negotiations. I love listing and selling homes. I think what the commonality with all that is just people. I love talking with people. I love getting to know them. I love helping them. So I think, a lot of people always say, man, this is like perfect for you. Like, we always thought you would be like great at this, and we never understood why you never, went this route. And they're right. It just feels natural. It feels good, and I love it. It's great.
That's great. That's nice when you fit with like the career, and you love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it doesn't feel like work a lot of the times. So yeah, just to your point, you're right.
So knowing what you know now, if you can go back in time and like mentor your younger self, or give yourself like a piece of advice, or teach your younger self something, like what would you teach yourself? And and when would you go back? So at what age?
Ooh, man, good question.
Makes it harder.
I think I probably would have gone back to like my mid-20s. So like I mentioned, I got married when I was 22. I think the thing that I would hope to redo or teach myself or mentor myself in is time management. Learn time management at that age, and then also know the value of being organized, just with processes and procedures. Probably those two things are the biggest thing. One other thing I can think about too is just managing your time wisely. I think early on in those years, at least, you just don't know what you don't know. So, you don't really see that far out. I certainly didn't when I was that age. So I wish I would have managed my time more wisely, probably less TV. I hardly watch any TV now, just because I just don't have time to do it, because I'm managing my time better. But yeah, that's what, mid-20s and those three things for sure would be something I would encourage myself to do. That's a really good question, man.
So thanks. Sure, yeah. I love that. So how is it working with you as, like, if you were representing me as a real estate agent, like, how is that? Like, how do your clients, or what have your clients said before?
Well, I read a couple of reviews on about myself on Google and Zillow, and so far so good. I think one of the best ways that a client can tell you how they felt about you is if they give you referrals. I've gotten referrals from some of my past clients. That always feels great. That feels good because you've earned their trust, and now they're putting their friends' trust in your hands. Never take that for granted. Always value that part of the relationship, and it is a relationship. There's no doubt. It's a business transaction for sure, but it's also probably their biggest purchase of their life thus far. So certainly want to be sensitive to that, and value that, the trust that needs to be built during that process for sure. But I don't know. A lot of people, I don't know. It's kind of an awkward question to answer. I would just say that people have said good things about me, and I appreciate that. It's not why I do what I do. I want to do a good job. I want to represent them well. I in some weird way, it's an extension of me representing my family as well. Right. So I do it mainly for that. I want to be great at what I do. So I'm just going to continue to work hard and see where it pans out. But for right now, I think I'm so far so good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And referrals, that is a good meter of if you're doing something right, you know.
Yeah.
Like if, you know, if I recommend you, it's like there's a reason someone's recommending you.
Yeah.
They don't just recommend anyone.
Right.
So,
yeah, like you asked me about my favorite fast food restaurants. I'm not gonna like recommend some crappy food joint. I'm gonna recommend something that's like, this is what I think. This is awesome.
Yeah, it tastes good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. So with you know, your real estate business, so if I gave you a voucher for $10,000 and you have to invest it in your business, so whether you use it or you lose it, what would you invest in as a real estate agent?
You mean in my business, or what would I just invest $10,000 in?
Oh, in the real estate business.
Okay.
So like, yeah, I've heard a couple different answers. Just curious, like, in terms of how, as a real estate agent, like, what would you use that in?
I would buy more property.
Hey-o.
Yeah. there's no doubt. I mean, it's like if someone gave me 10 grand, I'd buy a single family home or a duplex in an underperforming area, and just get in there without a doubt. I wouldn't hesitate, for sure.
Yeah, that's good. Like that, what area, if I may ask?
Well, I mean, you can get into homes with 3% down. So with 10 grand being 3%.
I know it's like not enough for a home, but
no, you could. No, I have an agent, or not an agent. I have a client right now who can get into a $500,000 home with $6,000 out of their pocket using first-time home buyer programs because the interest rates are so low. So no, it's not. Definitely not impossible. Yeah, it's certainly Riverside counties, San Bernardino County. You can find a lot of stuff out there, a lot more than say Orange County. Not to say that there's nothing in Orange County or LA County. There certainly is. But if you want to get more bang for your buck, certainly Riverside County is, and San Bernardino County, you're gonna get a lot more. So I don't know, maybe a duplex or a single family home, I would use that for sure. And then, put money into it and hopefully the values increase, which typically they do. I mean, real estate's it's a great investment.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They don't make more land. So,
yeah.
No, we can anyway. So if you could have any car in the world, what would you have?
Easy. Range Rover.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What color? What color?
Black.
Oh.
Yeah. Either the sport or the one that's not a sport. But for probably like 10 years, I've been wanting one of those. And I haven't heard great things about them 10 years ago, but I know that they're owned by a new ownership group, and people who have got them in the last 3 or 4 years, they love them. They haven't had any issues. So. Okay. I'm jumping on that train.
All right, I've driven a couple. So
really,
yeah, as a valet, and they're nice. Okay. Yeah, they drive well. They're very popular,
Yeah, I mean, does it feel like sturdy in there? I haven't driven one.
Yeah, they feel sturdy. They're you feel safe. Like you're like raised up a little, and they're comfortable. Yeah, a lot of space.
But like some cars, or vehicles, you get in them and they feel kind of cheap. How does it feel when you're in there?
No, it doesn't feel cheap at all. It feels well built. I mean, I don't know how expensive they are, but they, I know they're, but they, they're nice. It's like, oh, it's a cool car. Like, it's big but not too big. Like kind of a thing.
Yeah, and they're clean looking too, man. I love the way they look. So nice.
What color rims would you get?
I didn't even know you can have a choice of color in rims, but I don't know, maybe like a charcoal gray or something like that, kind of offset the black.
Cool.
I don't know. Not shiny chrome. I don't think that would look that great.
You don't want
but
to be like
the Range Rover, so it's gonna look good anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. You ever see those the spinner wheels or the spinner rims?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, they mess with my mind, man. I look at that and I'm like, wait, what the heck? That thing's floating. How's that happening? Yeah, it totally messes with my mind for sure.
hey, do you have any real estate stories of like or funny stories or anything like that taught you a lesson in terms of like working in real estate and stuff?
Yeah, I was thinking of one. That's why I was smiling as you were finishing your question. There was this one time where I was showing this house. You know, you're supposed to knock on the door, right? Knock on the door. You set up an appointment. You knock on the door, and then when open the door with the key, and then typically you say, "Realtor, realtor, realtor's here, realtor." You say that loud enough, like, okay, house is clear. You don't hear any response, right? House is clear. You bring your clients in, showing the house, kitchen, living room, dining room. Then we go into the bedrooms. There's a closed door. I open the door, and someone's sleeping.
Oh,
in the bed, and doesn't even move when I open the door. So I'm thinking, I don't know if he has a weapon. I don't know anything. So I slowly close the door and I put my mouth, my finger in my mouth, and I told my clients, I said, we gotta go. And they're just like confused. I'm like, we gotta go. And so we leave and we go outside, and they're like, what the heck? What happened? I'm like, there's someone sleeping in the bedroom, in the bed right now. And they're like, what? And I said, yeah, I didn't know what to do at that time.
right.
So I called the agent and I just said, hey, we're gonna have to come back at another time. There's someone sleeping in the bed. And they're like, really? No one's supposed to be home. And I was like, okay, well then, something's going on. So yeah, that's something that, what I learned from that is I need to say realtor a lot louder. And probably like maybe knock on the doors on closed doors. But then even that, I mean, who knows how that guy would have responded, barely, waking up. Who knows? It could have ended horribly, but luckily it didn't.
Yeah, and how would you know if someone's going to be sleeping there? Like,
yeah, totally. I mean, there's other times where we go into houses and people put their cats or their dogs in a room, and they'll put a sign on the door and say, don't open, cats inside or dogs inside or something like that.
Got it.
But, yeah, no one said human inside.
Yeah.
It wasn't part of the conversation.
So when you show off houses, or like, you have a client and they're selling their house, you recommend it to have the house with no humans in it. No people sleeping.
Yeah, definitely that. Yeah, don't want any humans sleeping. There's some weird things that I have seen in homes where you're just like, oh, okay, all right. And you just kind of pretend like, okay, and then let's go to the next room. And you're like, come on. Did you just see what we just saw in that other room? And yeah, it's just...
Oh man, that's pretty. Did you ever find out what was the deal with that person sleeping?
Yeah,
what was
sick?
They're sick.
They stayed home sick, and they didn't let the agent know, and it was fine. We didn't end up getting that house anyway. They just kind of moved on, and that was the end of that.
Okay, that makes sense. They're just sick and bad.
Yeah.
Got it. And which is why they probably didn't respond either.
Right.
Because they're just like so dead. They're just, yeah. Oh man. Very cool. I love that story. That's good. I feel like you have more stories. Do you have anything else? Tell us one more story.
Man, I would say that one's probably the funniest. I mean, there's stories where I've seen like some creepy things. I don't want to go into too many details of that, but it really left me like feeling very eerie inside, and my clients are really eerie. In fact, the wife of these clients was, she was just like, man, I feel like I need to take a shower after that. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then some. So yeah, there's been some interesting situations that we walked into. And then there's been a lot of like really great homes too, with beautiful views, right on the water in some cases. So I love looking at homes, and that's probably the appeal for me as well. So showing homes, I get pretty excited. Just get my own ideas from maybe decorating tips or whatever with the homes that we walk through. But
what's the nicest home you've ever seen where you're like, wow, that was like...
Yeah, I took a client out to, there was actually a few out in Tustin area in Yorba Linda. This place was awesome. It was 7 bedrooms, 8 baths, single level, like ranch style, humongous. And that was nice in itself, but the backyard was ridiculous. So it had this beautiful pool with this cabana. Also had like that pool bar. So it had like schools in the water where you just swim up,
my gosh.
and come to the bar. Yeah, and then it has like these like fountain, this water just spraying all over. That was an awesome house. I love that one. Yeah, that day, for whatever reason, every single house we saw was amazing and very expensive.
Sure.
But yeah, that's some nice property out here in Southern California, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. Very cool. Well, is there any other question that I didn't ask you that you thought would be good for me to ask you?
No, I think a lot of your questions were really good, very interesting and insightful. And again, I appreciate this. I appreciate what you're doing, and just the opportunity for me to get on here and answer questions that I probably never even really thought of. And it's good to just be able to express that a little bit. And if people benefit from it and get to know me a little bit more through it, great. Definitely always looking forward to meeting new people and serving people. That's kind of my tagline is service over sales. That's my mentality, and I get excited about that kind of stuff. That's another thing that drives me as well. So thank you, man. I appreciate you, Brian, and just having me on here. It's been great.
Yeah, no, we appreciate having you. It was a pleasure. The pleasure was ours.
Oh, cool.
And stuff. And well, I guess we'll leave it at that. We'll throw your information up one more time. And cool. If you guys want to contact James, go ahead. There's his info. Information will be in the description of the video as well. And thanks for taking the time. And see you guys next time.
Yeah, appreciate it.